a weekly webinar about all things HR. Tonight I'm joined by Richard Oates. Richard is the Director of BG Northwest, and they're about to expand their ventures and horizons. And he's also the CEO, or Managing Director, I should say, of Duffy's Automotive. So Richard is going to talk to us today about and participate in this interview today to look at recruiting in regional areas. So we'll get on to that in just a moment, but just want to welcome everybody as a continuation of our COVID-19 employer advisories that we do every Monday morning, give you an update on what's happening as a consequence of COVID, and particularly any specific HR issues that arise from that for business owners, their staff, and their managers. But every Wednesday evening from this week, we have changed it from Thursday evening at 5:30 to Wednesday evening at 5:30. We will be doing a deep dive into a particular HR topic to give you information and insights on topics of interest to regional business. So if you have anything you'd particularly like to hear about, don't hesitate to get in touch with us. If you're watching this on Facebook, you can subscribe to receive notifications of when we're going live on Facebook by simply clicking the bell icon in the top right corner of your screen. You will never miss a HR update or webinar ever again from us. So if you do that. So today our webinar features an interview with the wonderful Richard Oates. He's going to share his experiences of recruiting to a regional area in quite different roles, industries and businesses. So thank you so much, Richard, for joining us.
Pleasure.
Fantastic. So let's start with getting you to tell us a little bit about yourself and your businesses.
I suppose someone asked me what I do. I still think I'm a farmer, but I haven't done that for a while. So my background is ag for sure. Spent a fair bit grew up between Orange and Molong, then had property at east of Coonabarabran. Moved to Tamworth for all sorts of reasons. Had an irrigation block there, and ended up buying a workshop that had been going for about 22 or 3 years. I thought that'd be a good idea at the time, which sort of created a whole heap of new challenges for me. So, yeah, that's where I get to where I am.
Fantastic, excellent. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about your most recent venture, BG's?
So, BG Products, automotive chemistry company that are based in the US. They've been around for a very long, since 1971. They're one of the largest auto chemistry companies in the world. They have about 70 to 80% of the dealer market in the US and around sort of 40% in Europe. So they're very established, but with a fairly small footprint in Australia. I got involved with them at an automotive level with the workshop. There's all sorts of products there. The main stuff is keeping our engines clean internally, so they do the right thing as they were designed to do. And with my background through meeting the head of BG Australia over the years, decided to take on a distributorship for heavy diesel. And yeah, go forward a couple of years, I've now got a business partner in that, Dave Boland, and it's going really well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Excellent. So talk to us as a business owner in related but quite different businesses that you've taken on. What do you think are the particular challenges about recruiting in rural and regional areas from your own experience?
Well, I actually wonder whether they're perceived difficulties, to be brutally honest. And that I'll give you a wrap, Bron, because that's after meeting yourself. The feedback we've had is we probably wouldn't have got the guys we had without such a professional recruitment side of things. And look, we've ended up with some great guys both in the workshop. My manager, and I've got a guy who I guess has a assistant manager / rep suspension role. He does a fair bit of travelling as well. And we've just recruited for BG in 2 states. So we've recruited in Queensland for the Greater Brisbane area, and also in the Central West, around Dubbo. So, and they're going to be remote roles, which it's a bit exciting. But as far as difficulty finding people, I think there's good people out there. Just got to find the right people to find them.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. So what do you think are the advantages of working and recruiting in rural and regional areas? So we've debunked the myth that we can't get good people or keep or develop them. So what do you think are the advantages?
Well, you don't have to live in the city. That's a start. I don't really know what the advantages for living in regional areas. I think, to me, having had lots of city experience, but lived in the country my whole life, quality of life is, to me, a heap better out here. So, and I think with the way the world's going these days, people are starting to realise that maybe being jammed all together is not that much fun. So yeah, look, I think as far as recruiting out here, I think it's possibly getting easier in that people have got technology, so we can do stuff now that we couldn't do a couple of years ago. So yeah, it's a good spot to work.
Yeah, fantastic. And how do you find the working relationships and connections that you get to have when you live and work in a regional area, say?
It's people a lot more real, to be honest. Again, spent a lot of time in cities, but and have some great friends that live in all capital cities. But I like country people because they're real. There's no BS. It's really it's about building relationships, which is at the end of the day, that's what most business is about. And if you're feeding them about it, it's to me, it's a lot easier. You sort of haven't got to watch your back as much.
Fantastic. So talk to our viewers about what sorts of roles we've recruited for you.
Right, we'll start it off with an operations manager for Duffy's Automotive, which is a workshop in Peel Street in Tamworth. And that was really twofold. One, that I had some other stuff I wanted to do, which is BG, but also I actually needed someone that was better at it than me, to be brutally honest. We'd managed to grow the business, but it was pretty messy in the background. So getting a skill set that really their life experience was running an efficient workshop was paramount. So managed to do that. We got a great guy there in Damien, and then again with the sales rep there, Jay. He's slotted in, perfect cultural fit, and working really well. And then, of course, when it comes to BG, very different. We're looking for guys doing a sales rep type role, which is working autonomously away from a direct management and on the road. So yeah, we've been through, as you know, a recruitment process, and was pretty gobsmacked by the amount of offers or amount of guys we had that you guys had to serve through. But look, yeah, we've got a couple of good guys, so looking forward to the next one.
Fantastic. So when we first met, which was ahead of potentially recruiting your operations manager, Damien, at Duffy's, you were pretty sceptical you were very clear about what you wanted in terms of the role, but you were pretty sceptical about us potentially finding that. So what was it, do you think, that made you think, yeah, I just don't know that anybody's going to find this for me?
Complete naivety is probably the answer. And doing a bit of Google searching and looking at Seek and all that sort of stuff, and reading a bit of stuff, and I suppose having that, we're a medium-sized workshop in a regional centre. The type of guy that I want with some entrepreneurial skill, and why would he want to come and work for us? Sort of that sort of attitude. And okay, also there's always the dollars, Bron. You know, I go, oh, can I do this myself? You know, do I need to pay someone to do that? And I think one night searching on Seek solved that for me, because I thought if I stuff this up, it's going to cost me a lot more to do it multiple times. So yeah, took the plunge.
Fantastic. And we're so glad you did.
And of course, your sales pitch was unbelievable.
Oh, bless. Well, we don't give a recruitment guarantee for nothing. So that often adds to a bit of a level of comfort around spending the dollars and making the investment. So yeah. So how was the recruitment process for you as we took you through it for those particular roles? What was your experience of it? How much effort did you have to put in?
A lot less than I expected. Yeah, in reality is a couple of meetings, we decided on what you sort of worked out from me. Somehow you deciphered what I needed. And really a couple of meetings after that, we ended up with a short list and a few discussions around those references, and then an interview day. So it was as far as time on my side of the bench, very minimal.
Fantastic. But with that though, did you still feel like you had a good level of input and control over sort of where things were going as far as getting what you wanted?
Yeah, I did. I mean, and again, the two roles, you know, the first one I worked directly with you, Bron, and then the last time we worked with Gretel, one of your team members, and I guess there's that personal relationship that builds up, and there's a bit of trust that comes along with that. But yeah, there was plenty of one-on-one time to ask those questions, and you know, you're not offended by my stupid questions and my bad language and all that sort of stuff. So.
Not at all. Not at all. Take you exactly as we see you. So how has it compared, do you think, with having to do it on your own in terms of recruitment?
Oh, look, yeah. Having really only in the past employed contractors through ag, or a guy, you know, someone's son down the road that you knew pretty well, and then workshop world inherited some staff and employed a guy over a cup of coffee. What I've learned in the process now and how we sift the chaff from the hay. Yeah, I wouldn't consider doing it any other way, to be brutally honest. It's not my gig, and happy to outsource.
Fantastic. So we've got you two new recruits for BGs that'll be starting in the coming couple of weeks. Let's think about this, I guess, this next question, and probably mostly then in respect of Damien and Jay, because they've been around quite a bit longer. So how confident are you in the outcomes of the recruitments that you've partnered with us on? Particularly, I mean, those guys have been around a while now. So have things developed in the direction, and has it met your expectations in terms of taking that investment in recruitment?
Yeah, look, absolutely. And nothing has highlighted that more than the last couple of months, 3 months with the COVID trials and tribulations. To have a couple of guys with that sort of integrity, I've basically a few phone calls a week and a monthly meeting, and maybe call in there once a week, really for no other reason, because I want to go and have a chat. These guys have led their way through the COVID stuff. They've managed staff. They've managed having to reduce hours and all of that sort of stuff, which are not easy conversations. I was with them for some of those conversations with the team, but they've handled, particularly Damien's handled the rest of that, and couldn't be happier.
Fantastic. So would you recommend PPS to other people from a recruitment perspective, but perhaps also in terms of other services?
Absolutely. As you well know, Bron, you're now basically our HR department, and and working on our health and safety side as well, as far as that sort of stuff to take. There's a lot of documentation. There's a lot of legal stuff to keep up to speed with. That's not my strength. I'm better at doing what I do. So to have you guys in our corner, and I'll speak for Dave Voland as well. Yeah, it's just part of the team. Happy to recommend.
Fantastic. Excellent. So did you, bearing in mind that when we first met and the cost of doing this was something that curled your eyebrows a little bit, I think, did you get value for money?
Yeah. As I said, it doesn't take long to do the numbers. If I stuffed it up, it would have cost me a lot more money. So, yeah. Okay,
fantastic. No, so now this is going to be interesting for those listening in as well. How has COVID affected your recruitment plans?
Well, up until the closing of the Queensland border, not much, to be brutally honest. We did pause it for a little bit. When it first started, probably twofold, thinking one, we don't know what the landscape is in front of us, but also two, there could be some more people in the market that might want to come and work for us. So we paused it. I can't remember, it was maybe a month, 3 weeks, something like that. But really, up until now, where we've got a closure of the Queensland border, that's going to be a little bit interesting with induction. I'm going to have to get used to a bit more of this sort of tech stuff. Not my natural habitat, Bron, as you know. But yeah, look, it's worked fine, and really, it's been seamless.
Fantastic. So, are you confident, to the extent that you can be, that BGs and Duffys will continue to be able to pivot during this period, and navigate some of the challenges of being an employer over situations like COVID?
Yeah, as much as you can be. I mean, you don't know what the landscape is around the corner. Obviously, Victoria's in a bit of trouble at the moment, but the workshops down there are still open. So they're still doing business. Obviously, they're not having got as many people coming into the business, but they're still doing what they've got to do. So I think we've got plans in place that if that was to happen, we can cope. And yeah, with BG, a lot of our clients are regional. So at this point in time, they're a fair way from the hotspots. So yeah, look, we're hoping we'll get through pretty well.
That's brilliant. That's fantastic. So what would be, do you think, your top 3 tips for other businesses who might be considering recruiting in rural and regional areas?
Top 3. Yeah, I suppose it's you've got to get over the cost side of it, which is always in a small business right front of mind, and have a look at the value side, and realise that there's a lot of people out there that actually like to live regionally, and there's a pretty good pool of skills out there. So yeah, it's worth having a crack.
Fantastic. So what, if anything, Richard, in terms of your recruitment experiences over the last sort of few years between Duffys and BGs, what would you do differently, do you think? Is there anything you'd do differently?
Probably not wait as long to call you, to be honest. And it probably is, you always look back on, and I should have made that decision, 12 months earlier. And yeah, when you look at the ability to step away from one business and start another one, there's a dollar value involved in that, and it takes a while to get momentum. So if I'd done it earlier, who knows where we'd be now. So yeah, look, it was a daunting decision to start with, but yeah, now it's just it's a no-brainer.
Fantastic, excellent. Is there anything else today, Richard, in this conversation which I've really enjoyed with you, and I hope our viewers feel the same? Is there anything that I should have asked you, or that you'd like to add?
I probably didn't mind my language a bit better or something. I don't know. I can't. No. Look, I don't. I really. I've actually enjoyed the process. It's been a really steep learning curve for me, and I know Dave, who's part of BG. It was his first sort of recruitment process where you end up with an interview panel and a hot seat type setup, and he's really enjoyed it as well. So yeah, we'll probably do a few more.
Fantastic. No, that's excellent. Look, thank you so much again for joining us today. We are so incredibly appreciative of your time. You're an incredibly busy person. We know that well and truly, and we really do appreciate the time that you've taken with us this evening, Richard. For those who have joined us and who might want to find this again, if you haven't been able to join us live this evening, this video will remain online on Facebook. You'll also find it in LinkedIn, YouTube, and on our website. If you'd like to watch, as I said, catch up or watch again later. We'll also be producing a fact sheet based on the information that Richard has shared with you and that we've discussed this evening, that you'll be able to download from our website. You can also sign up for a weekly digest of our Wednesday webinars, the associated fact sheets, and our Monday news updates to be delivered to your inbox every Tuesday by signing up on our website at pinnaclepeoplesolutions.com.au. So please join us at for our next Monday news update at 9:15 on Facebook Live to catch up on all the important news from the last week, both COVID related and of course general HR. So in the meantime, please hug the people that you can, wave cheerily at those that you yet are not allowed to. Stay safe, stay socially distant, keep up that good hand hygiene, and we'll really look forward to seeing you on Monday. Thanks so much again, Richard. We really appreciate it.
No worries.
Thanks.